I hate conspiracy theories because there's a lot of people talking about Charlie Kirk possibly, potentially, allegedly being taken out by Israel. I haven't bought into it yet. I don't think he has. Yeah. But we're going to play a clip very quickly. This is 48 hours before his assassination. And you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen this yet, no.
Okay. This is him and Ben Shapiro debating on Turning Point.
Which is, okay, Charlie, we've pushed back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border, on so like maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So, Ben, some people would accuse Israel of wanting to ethnically cleanse. Some people in the Israeli government are saying, again, it's all over the place, right? You have opinions all over. In your opinion, what would a good outcome 5 years from now be, and how does one respond to the claims of ethnic cleansing?
So ethnic cleansing, the idea, presumably, that population movement is equivalent to ethnic cleansing. I think ethnic cleansing is a term that's been fairly recently coined to describe population movement during war. And the reality is that's been ongoing for literally all of human history. The idea that Israel is, quote unquote, forcing people out of the Gaza Strip, that is not the stated policy of the Israeli government. The idea is that people want to leave, they can, but they're not being forced to leave. Again, moving people out of heavily urbanized areas that are honeycombed with terrorist booby traps pretty much everywhere is not the same thing as, quote unquote, ethnic cleansing. And I think that ethnic cleansing is very often used as sort of a softer form of the genocide attack. The idea being that Israel is trying to kill everyone, which of course is not true. As far as your earlier question about what we believe from the media, one of the things that I find kind of astonishing in some of the folks on the right who are highly critical of Israel is actually the lack of the lack of skepticism when it comes to legacy media. Legacy media are radically anti-Israel overall. The New York Times can certainly not be accused of being a pro-Israel outlet. It'd be very difficult to make the accusation that the Associated Press, which has worked hand in glove with Hamas for years, or Reuters, that these are wildly pro-Israel outlets. And yet when it comes to the reporting, it seems to be sort of.
Can you do me a favor? Can you reverse that video back to that cutscene where Charlie mentions ethnic cleansing, and it's both their videos at the same time, dual screen, and then it cuts to Charlie very quickly. I want you guys to see something and tell me if I'm crazy.
Okay. Charlie, we pushed back against the media on COVID, on
again, moving people out of heavily.
So maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know
he has his papers in his hand, and then
more critical questions over the last couple of years. So Ben, some people would accuse Israel of wanting
Did you guys
to
notice
ethnically
that?
Cleanse.
Charlie Kirk had his papers in his hand, and look, we've done post-production on this show. He had his papers in his hand, and all of a sudden there was a cut. Right, Joe, you saw that, right?
I saw him put it down slightly.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Yeah.
There was a look. They tried to clean that up as best as they could. I think when he talked about ethnic cleansing and the papers were in his hand and that cut took place, there was dialogue off air between Charlie and Ben that we do not know about. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
it's speculation. But
it looks like he put his papers down. I'm going to just be honest.
I'm just saying
that's my perspective. But what stood out to me in that conversation was wild. I hadn't seen that. What stood out to me was how Charlie Kirk was not like a scared guy when he was making his arguments. Like, he was very confident. He would make his arguments aggressively. What I noticed was he looked a little bit scared, like asking Ben Shapiro the question about ethnic cleansing, right? He seemed a little bit timid, a little bit careful.
Kind of like when PBD asked Netanyahu about the Armenian genocide.
Yeah, but God, anyway, I don't want to get into that too much,
By the way, I wish you had interviewed Netanyahu.
Oh, I would love it.
PBD.
Netanyahu, hit me up. I'll interview you. I'll interview you any day.
Hey, we'll pay for that shit.
Yeah,
we'll fly Anna out first class.
I don't know if she wants to go to Israel.
No. You come here.
Yeah.
As long as you want to be interviewed, I'll sit down with you for 5 hours if you want it. Anything you want, right? I would love the opportunity. Make your case to someone,
Because to me, it was so disrespectful the way he just said, when Pat asked about
I just did.
The
No, you
Armenian
didn't.
and Assyrian genocide. He's like, yeah, I just did. Like, just.
And he said period at the end, remember?
Like, yeah, period. Like, stop asking me this stupid question. We're done with it. Move on. And
the worst part of it is both sides of Pat's family suffered from the Turkish Empire or the Ottoman Turks, the Assyrians and the Armenians. Dude, your dad's side no longer has a freaking country. The Assyrians do not have a country anymore.
I know.
And all was like, well, thank you for doing that for us.
No, he said, I thank you on behalf of the Armenian.
No,
Assyrian community."
don't speak on behalf of the Armenians for that shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So let's talk about Vinny. Because look, the way Pat handled the interview, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and trash him over that. I would have handled it differently because I don't believe Netanyahu. I'm not just going to take, I just did, as enough after you just provided Azerbaijan with the weapons to slaughter and ethnically cleanse Armenians from Artsakh.
Yes.
It's that simple.
If you enjoyed this short clip, go ahead and click here to watch the full episode. And make sure to click here to subscribe to our channel to watch all other episodes of the WiseNuts podcast.